Guys, we are a new and small channel. I ask that you subscribe and like the video to help improve our stories, texts, to create more entertainment for you and continue to reach more Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super fans around the world. Thank you, and let's go to the video.
Vegeta, I see you brought friends, I said Cumber. No wonder I couldn't find you anywhere. You had escaped from the planet. Miserable, I said Vegeta, through gritted teeth. I imagine that you are the one who is causing chaos everywhere. I said Broly. Who are you? I said Cumber. Something makes me think that you look more like me than you think. I'm not like you, I said Broly. Annoying. At that moment, Broly began to increase his ki. But something would call his attention. Goku raised his ki, but not with intention. He was escaping. It was the first time I saw that in him, and it was scary. Goku was adopting that attitude of his father to lose control. It was the first time I saw him like that. Goku, what's wrong with you? I said Broly. Goku lunged directly at Cumber without hesitation. His body vibrated with Saiyan energy, but he would barely reach the first blow when he would feel Cumber's fist impact his abdomen as if it were a hammer of pure fury. The air would escape from his lungs in a drowned scream while he was shooting back, violently colliding with the destroyed soil of planet Vegeta. Kakarot, Vegeta shouted, with a frown. He had hoped that Goku would at least resist a few more moments, but Cumber's strength was much more terrifying than he had imagined. Goku got up with difficulty, his face covered in dust and sweat, trying to recover from the brutal impact. He was used to facing powerful enemies, but Cumber was different. Every blow he threw, every movement he made, he was full of pure evil and an uncontrolled aggression that he had never felt before. "That's all you have, Goku?" Cumber roared, with an arrogant smile on his face, showing his pointed fangs. "You don't even deserve to call yourself a Saiyan." However, Goku would not give up. Despite the pain, his warrior spirit burned intensely inside him. With a fierce cry, he would raise his energy. His ki was enveloping more intensely. He lunged again towards Cumber. He would try to attack with a burst of fast blows, but Cumber blocked them easily, taking Goku's arm in the middle of his attack and crashing him against the ground once again. This time, Goku could not move. Pathetic, Cumber murmured with contempt while he lifted Goku by the neck. The young Saiyan groaned, trying to free himself, but Cumber's grip was relentless. Just when it seemed that everything was going to end, an explosive energy would fill the air. Broly, who had so far observed the battle with growing concern, finally could not contain his fury. "I oppose," Broly shouted. The ground under Broly began to crack, while his energy increased alarmingly. His eyes, before full of confusion, now they shone with a raging anger. The memories of his exile, of the betrayal of the Saiyans, and the fear that others had towards him. They mixed with the vision of his son being humiliated by Cumber. All that weight fell on his spirit, unleashing the latent fury that he had always feared to release. "Let him go," Broly roared, while his body was enveloped in a storm of green and golden power. With a deafening scream, Broly launched towards Cumber
with an impressive speed. His blows resounded like thunder. Cumber, surprised by Broly's ferocity, and he would barely have time to release Goku before the first blow hit him in the jaw, sending him flying backwards. Cumber lands, sinking to the ground and raising a cloud of dust. He would slowly get up, cleaning the blood from his mouth. But his smile would not disappear. On the contrary, he seemed to enjoy the situation. "So you finally decided to show me that you are capable, Broly?" Cumber said, stretching his arms as if he were preparing to enjoy the battle even more. Broly's energy continued to increase. His aura shone intensely while he lost more and more control of himself. His fury was like a volcano about to erupt, and all he saw was Cumber as the source of all his pain and suffering. Without thinking twice, Broly launched again towards Cumber, clashing with him in a frenzy of brutal blows. The two colossi would exchange blows with such force that the very ground of the beautiful planet trembled under his feet. Each fist clash created waves of clash that raised with the rocks and the landscape. However, despite the incredible strength of Broly, Cumber seemed to stay at the height, blocking the attacks with an ease that enraged Broly even more. "That's all you have?" Cumber said mockingly, while dodging another attack of Broly, and they hit him in the stomach with such force that would make him bend. "You are nothing more than an uncontrollable beast." Broly groaned with his fury, increasing to unimaginable levels. With a roar, his energy shoots even further, breaking any limit that he had known before. It would transform into its form of legendary Super Saiyan, an even more powerful version of itself, but at the same time, more dangerous. His muscles expand, and his gaze would become empty, consumed by anger. Goku, who had managed to recover a little, he observed with concern from a distance. He knew that when Broly lost control, things could get out of hand quickly. Vegeta also knew it, and although he recognized Broly's impressive strength, he knew that if they did not find a way to stop Cumber soon, the situation could become even more disastrous. "Dad, be careful!" Goku would shout, trying to make his father come back to himself. But it was useless. Broly was completely consumed by his anger. Cumber, although initially surprised
By Broly's transformation, he did not seem intimidated at all. On the contrary, his smile widened as if he were enjoying the challenge. "This is what I was waiting for, a worthy opponent," Cumber said, fascinated. With his own roar, Cumber also releases more of his power. His dark and evil aura would envelop his body, creating a terrifying contrast with Broly's brilliant green light. The two launched each other again, but this time the battle was much more intense. Broly attacked with a huge force, but Cumber responded with a precision and cruelty that made it seem even more monstrous. Every blow that Broly managed to connect, it seemed to make Cumber retreat, but the demonic Saiyan did not stop smiling.
There was something dark and sinister in his way of fighting, as if he were enjoying pain and chaos. Finally, in a quick move, Cumber catches Broly in a crushing grip, raising him above his head and crashing him against the ground with a force that would break the earth. "This is the end for you, Broly," Cumber shouted as he raised his fist, charging him with dark energy, willing to take the final blow. But in the last second, Goku appears out of nowhere. With a scream of despair, he lunged at Cumber, blocking the attack with all his strength. "I will not let you kill him," Goku shouted, pushing Cumber's fist back. "How is it possible?" Vegeta said, seeing the sudden increase in power in Goku. Cumber, surprised by the intervention, he would step back a few steps, but he did not seem worried. "You too, Goku. You will not last much longer," Cumber said furiously. Goku, jaded by the effort, he knew that Cumber was right. His forces were at the limit, but he could not let Broly fall into the hands of a monster like Cumber. Vegeta, who had been observing from a distance, he knew he could not intervene. The power of the three warriors, they left him totally out of league. "It is not possible. I feel so small in front of them," Vegeta would think with great frustration. The battle would intensify even more, with Goku and Broly, who fought together against Cumber, who seemed to enjoy every second. However, despite their best efforts, it was evident that Cumber was playing with them. His power was overwhelming, and every time they managed to connect a blow, he recovered quickly, launching even more devastating attacks. "This is useless," Vegeta murmured. "That monster is too strong. We cannot give up now," Goku shouted, with his warrior spirit shining more intensely than ever. He knew that if they fell there, not only the planet Vegeta, if not the whole universe would be in danger. At that moment, Broly, even in his state of uncontrollable fury, he would release a deafening roar. His power would increase once again, breaking any imaginable limit. Cumber, for the first time, seemed worried. "It cannot be," Cumber said, retroceding slightly. "That power!" Broly, wrapped in a pure and overflowing energy, he launched towards Cumber with an inhuman speed and strength. The two would collide once again, but this time Cumber could not block the attack, receiving it fully. Each one gave his best, while Goku took distance, realizing that he was left over in that fight. "Dad," Goku said, "no, it cannot be. If it continues like this, it will explode." Cumber seemed to have everything under control, despite the imposing wild power of Broly. With the passing of the minutes, finally Broly would show signs of fatigue. His muscles began to decay little by little, while his breathing was agitated. "I think the experiment is over," Cumber said, leaving aside his fighting posture, as if he was not more interested in fighting. Broly, out of himself and lacking reason, he would throw a great ray of energy from his mouth, but when attacking, Cumber holds him in one hand as if nothing. After this, but the ray of energy would lose thickness little by little until completely disappear. Broly would lose his transformation and fell to the ground on his knees. He had reached his limit. "That was impressive," Cumber said. "I have learned a lot from this." "Learned?" Vegeta said, confused. "Oh, Vegeta, you know little of everything," Cumber said. "Tell me, why did you bring Broly and his son here?" "Because I always knew that you fear him. He is the only one who can defeat you," Vegeta said. Cumber began to laugh non-stop. "Poor idiot! I said I feared Broly to see who would be the idiot who would bring him to me," Cumber said. Broly yawned, trying to hold his breath, but Cumber would come to him with a kick in the stomach, something that would leave him breathless, so Broly would be unconscious. "Dad," Goku said as he ran towards him. Out of nowhere, Cumber comes to Goku, and with a simple blow, he faints. "I don't understand," Vegeta said as he took steps back. "Vegeta, you have no idea what my origin is," Cumber said. "I was created in a laboratory from Broly. If I said I feared him, it is so they bring him to me." "No, that doesn't make any sense," Vegeta said through gritted teeth. "I need to understand Broly's power to make me stronger. Especially for that transformation," Cumber said. "Vegeta, I want you to listen to what I tell you, and that it stays engraved in your heart. You were responsible for bringing me the subject that will make me stronger." Vegeta fell on his knees by understanding that his action had harmed the planet Vegeta even more. He had only caused more problems by taking Broly. "I'm an idiot," Vegeta said. In that way, Cumber would take the three Saiyans to his castle, where they would be prisoners. He still needed more answers to be able to release all his power. What will happen now that Goku and Broly were defeated? Will Cumber be able to become stronger thanks to Broly? And even more important, what will be the fate of the planet Vegeta? All that we will know in the next part of this theory. So far this video, friends. If you want to see part 4 of this theory of Goku the son of Broly, this video has to reach 100 likes and many comments. Leave your like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That will motivate me to continue uploading videos and theories for you. See you in the next video.